welcome to my channel, and today I have another theatre vlog for you. So today I am heading to the Manchester Opera House to go and see Calamity Jane. I'm going to the Matinee today. It starts at 2:30 and I'm really excited because this is a musical that I've never seen before. I've never seen the film and I really love Carrie Hope Fletcher, so really looking forward to seeing the show. Obviously I'll show you around the theatre, show you the merch, show you the view from a sheet, record the curtain call, and then I'll review the show for you once I get home. So I hope you enjoy this little video. Okay, so it's now 12:10. Tram's due in 3 minutes. I've got loads of time. The show starts at 2:30. I'm going to get to the theatre for 2. So yeah, I've got plenty of time to get some food. Just seeing some match on tomorrow, I think it is. I've got a show tomorrow. Starts at 8, should be okay. So yeah, just waiting for the tram.
On the run from my given disaster, speed away from the holy mind, pride. That's where I never thought it would matter. If I'm gone by now, all my weakness keep on linger on repeat like it will be my favorite song. Oh, I know I should be moving on, but you got me good, you got me good. I keep on traveling till it bends, still it feels like I pretend. Keep on driving and driving along the road to never end. Lost my head over my back between the jars and bottle jack. Just me and all the red lights. Keep on driving and driving.
Okay, so I'm now at the food court. It's got a KFC because it's the only thing I like from here. I'm going to eat this and then I might have a bit of time to look around the shops before I need to head to the theatre. So it's now 1:30. I'm just walking up to the theatre now, just in St. Peter's Square. It'll take me about 15 minutes to walk up there, so I'm going to get there with lots of time. So yeah, I should be able to show you the merch and stuff. Okay, so I'm now in the circle. Just gonna find my seat. I'm on F15. Okay, so I decided to come this way. Now I was sure I picked the side where the women's toilets were, and yet again I've picked the wrong side. Every time. Okay, so I'm now in my seat. I'm on row F, seat 15. This is the view. So I think we've still got about 20 minutes till it starts. So I'll get back to you now in the interval. Okay, so it is now the interval, and I'm really enjoying it so far. There's some songs in it that I recognise, and obviously I love seeing Carrie perform today. And Carrie, yeah, really enjoying it so far, the interval. I'll tell you more about it once I get home, but so far, really enjoying it. So it is now the next day, so I thought I'd tell you a little bit about Calamity Jane, which I saw last night at Manchester Opera House. So I went to see the show on Wednesday the 22nd of January, and I went to a matinee performance which started at 2:30 p.m. The runtime for the show is approximately 2 hours and 30 minutes, which includes a 20-minute interval. So it started at 2:30 and it finished around 4:55. So my ticket cost £40, which for me is really expensive. I usually don't pay more than about £25 for tickets, so I did consider whether or not going to see this show, especially because it's an old school musical and I'm not a massive fan of old school musicals. However, Carrie Hope Fletcher is in it and I really like Carrie Hope Fletcher, so I really wanted to go. So the £40 ticket was actually a reduced ticket which I got in the sale, so it should have been even more than that. But luckily I had a £20 theatre token which I could use towards it as well, which made it £20, which was in my budget. But if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't have been able to go to this because it was too expensive. I don't know if they had cheaper tickets earlier on and I just missed them, because I never know when I can go to the theatre until Lawrence knows his hours, because we need someone to watch the children, so I usually have to wait till closer to the date. So maybe there was cheaper tickets earlier on, I'm not sure, but yeah, that was the cheapest ticket that I could find. However, I bought this ticket I think in the morning, and then in the afternoon Manchester Theatres had an offer on for £35 tickets, so I could have got it £5 cheaper and sat closer. I could have literally sat at the front of the stalls for £5 less, but never mind, because my view from where I was sat was absolutely fantastic. I might start sitting in the circle more because I was sat in the circle this time. The only problem about the circle is the seats are really close together, so you do feel a little bit squashed, especially if it's full. That's the only downside to it, but the view was fantastic. So I was sat in the circle, row F, seat 15, and yeah, would definitely sit there again. I thought the view was fantastic. Merch wise, they did have some merch for the show. So they had a brochure which was £10, they had a hoodie for £45, they had a t-shirt with like a boot motif on it that was £24. They then had a t-shirt with the logo on which was £22. They had a pin set for £12, a tote bag for £12, a mug for £10, a tea towel for £10, and then a magnet for £6. Of course I bought the magnet. So here is a look at the magnet. It's just got the logo on it. So if you don't know anything about Calamity Jane the musical, it's actually based on a real life frontier woman who is called Martha Jane Canary. She was a sharpshooter and she actually appeared in Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. And so the musical is actually an adaptation of the 1953 musical movie which starred Doris Day and Howard Keel. So that movie had songs in it, so all the songs from the movie are in the musical. There's also some extra songs in the musical which weren't in the movie, but apparently the songs that are in it were written for the movie, just weren't put in. So they were actually written for the movie and just not put in, so they are in the musical. So Calamity Jane is set in the Wild West town of Deadwood in 1876, where two famous peace officers, Calamity Jane and Wild Bill Hickok, reside. And in this town, the local saloon owner, Henry Miller, has been advertising a beautiful actress named Frances Fryer, who is going to come and perform at his saloon. However, when Frances turns up, it's not a beautiful woman, it's actually a man, and there's been a mix-up. So Miller tries to cover this up by making Frances dress up as a woman and perform. However, when his wig comes off, the game is up and the crowd becomes angry, and so Calamity Jane steps in to keep the peace. And to do this, she says that she's going to bring back a beautiful actress to perform at the saloon, called Adelaide Adams, who's supposed to be some big actress from Chicago. So Calamity heads to Chicago to go and find this actress. However, when Calamity gets to Chicago, she accidentally mistakes Adelaide Adams' maid to be her and brings her back to Deadwood. So once back in Deadwood, the maid, whose name is Katie Brown, gets on stage to perform. However, during her performance she breaks down and admits that she is not Adelaide Adams, which gets the crowd all angry again. However, Calamity Jane is able to keep the peace by saying, let's give this girl a chance and see what she can do. And so Deadwood end up really loving Katie and really warming to her because she's actually a really good performer. So she actually ends up winning the hearts of all the men in town, even Calamity's crush, which is Lieutenant Danny Gilmartin. So when Calamity finds out that Kate and Danny are in love, she gets really angry and demands that Katie return to Chicago. However, she then realizes that she actually isn't in love with Danny, she's in love with Bill. So she heads to try and get Katie back and bring her back to Deadwood. And that is the basic story of Calamity Jane. It's quite a simple story. Most of these older musicals are. So it wasn't my favourite story of a musical. It was okay, but like I said, it's a pretty simple story. You don't really tend to find out too much about the characters. They seem to fall in love very quickly without really knowing each other. I think they could have done better with a bit more character development. The set for this show I actually really enjoyed. It was a static set, it didn't have any moving parts or anything, it just stayed the same throughout, but it looked really interesting. It definitely looked like a Wild West saloon, and it had some balconies, so it was 2 stories. The balconies, often the musicians would stand up there. The musicians are actually the ensemble members, so this cast is made up of actor musicians, which I actually really enjoyed because it just felt more like a community, and like this was a community band playing at the saloon. So I did actually like the fact that the musicians were on stage and were part of the cast. But anyway, back to the staging. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. They moved between different places such as Calamity's cabin and Chicago just by adding extra props and furniture onto the set. But it worked well. I thought it was good. So I actually quite liked the set, even though it was a static set that didn't really move. Costumes I thought were really good. I really liked the nice period costumes. Thought they worked really well. Calamity had the classic Calamity costume that you see in the movie, but yeah, really enjoyed the costumes. I thought they were nice. Music, as I said, the band were on stage the whole time, and the music was played by the actor musicians, and like I said before, I really enjoyed that. I thought it worked well for this type of show. And the musical, I think I said at the beginning, features all the songs from the movie. So if you've got songs you love from the movie, they are all in this musical. A couple of my favourites were Secret Love, which was performed by Carrie, which I thought she performed beautifully. Really enjoyed her rendition of this song. I thought it was beautiful. And then I also really enjoyed Higher Than a Hawk, which the character Bill sings, who's played by Vinnie Coyle. Thought he did a fantastic job with that song. Really enjoyed his rendition. Other songs which people may recognise include The Black Hills of Dakota, which I do get everyone to sing along to. Obviously I was at a matinee, so there was a lot of older people and they were loving that. They were singing along to that, they really enjoyed that. Also the Deadwood Stage, that's another one that's quite popular. So yeah, I did enjoy the music. I thought the songs were good. I have actually never seen the movie, so I had never heard any of these songs before. Well, I didn't think I'd heard any of the songs before, but I did recognise quite a few actually, which I was surprised at because I didn't think I knew any of them. So next is the cast. Like I said, the cast were all absolutely fantastic. They are what made the show, really, I would say. Wonderful performances, especially from Carrie and Vinnie Coyle, who play Calamity and Wild Bill Hickok. I thought their chemistry on stage was fantastic. I thought they worked really well together. So I think they were probably the highlights of the show for me. But the entire cast were absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to go through the programme now and show you the rest of the cast. Okay, so this is the programme. So inside we have a welcome to the Opera House, which tells you about some upcoming shows. We then have information on the Opera House itself, adverts for some upcoming shows. So I've already got tickets for Now musical, I've got tickets for Kinky Boots. I did really want to go and see Dear Evan Hansen again, but the tickets are just too expensive, so I might have to maybe go somewhere else, because these £52 is the cheapest ticket and I'm not prepared to pay that because I have seen it once. And then here we go, we have the cast. So playing Calamity Jane, we had Carrie Hope Fletcher, who I thought did a really amazing job. I loved the way she portrayed Calamity Jane in this. I thought she did a fantastic job, and her voice was fantastic on the songs. So her theatre credits include Elizabeth in The Crown Jewels, West End and UK tour, Grusha in The Caucasian Chalk Circle at the Rose Theatre, Cinderella in Cinderella at the Gillian Lynn Theatre, Fontaine in Les Mis, Veronica in Heathers. So she's got a big list of things that she's done, and yeah, I really enjoy Carrie Hope Fletcher. I think she's a really good actress and she has an absolutely amazing voice. So then playing Wild Bill Hickok, we had Vinnie Coyle. Again, I thought he did a really good job. I thought him and Carrie worked really well together. They had really good chemistry on stage, and yeah, I thought he was fantastic. So his credits include Raoul in Phantom of the Opera, Hugo in Aspects of Love at the Lyric Theatre, and that's just a few things that he has done. We then had Luke Wilson, who played Ganley Gilmart, who was Calamity's love interest. His theatre credits include Much Ado About Nothing at the Royal Shakespeare Company, Rockets and Blue Lights at the National Theatre, Under the Sun at the Royal Court, and The Mountain Top at the Theatre Chipping Norton. Just some things he has done. Then we had Serene Sandham Davies, who played Katie Brown. Her theatre credits include Grandma Josephine / Cherry Sunday in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory at Albsworth Art Centre. She played Nicola in Kinky Boots at the Story House, which I did see her in that, and I thought she was really good. She played Gloria in Brast Off at Aberystwyth Art Centre and Derby Theatre. And she's played Agnes in Gypsy at the Mill Sonning. That's just some stuff she's done. We then had Peter Peverley, who played Henry Miller. His theatre credits include Da in Once the Musical at the Lambert Jackson Tokyo Orb, Charlie Thompson in The Sunderland Story at the Sunderland Empire, Never Lost at Home, Romeo and Juliet, As You Like It, Comedy Errors, Hamlet at the Royal Shakespeare Company. That's just some stuff he's done. We then had Holly Caesar as Susan. Her theatre credits include Prologue Company in Cabaret, original West End revival cast at the Kit Kat Club. She created the role of Rosie in the Rough Tough Cream Puff Estate Agency, world premiere at Coventry Belgrave. And that's just some stuff she's done. I'm not going to go through everyone's theatre credits because it's going to take too long, but we had Isaac Savage, who played Francis Fryer, Molly Grace Cutler, who played Adeline Adams, Richard Locke, who played Rattlesnake, Ben Nabali, who played Hank and Harry, Francis Murphy, who played Joe and Stage Doorkeeper, Thomas Watsonholme, who played Buck, Claire Greenway, who played Doc, and she's the assistant musical director, Lara Lewis, who is the swing, Emma Jane Morton, who is the swing and dance captain, Theo Dedrick, who is swing, Jacob Leeson, who is swing, and Stephen Scott Stock, who is swing. And finally, James Wycherley, who is the drums and percussion. So here we then have the cast list, swings list, the band, and the understudies. We then have a list of the musical numbers. So in Act 1, you got the opening, Deadwood Stage, Adelaine Adams, Everyone Complains About the Weather, Men, Careless with the Truth, Hive Full of Honey, Weather Dance Lesson, I Can Do Without You, 'Tis Harry I'm Planning to Marry, Just Blew In from the Windy City, Keep It Under Your Hat, and Careless with the Truth. So that's Act 1. And then in Act 2 we've got Higher Than a Hawk, A Woman's Touch, Love You Dearly, Black Hills of Dakota, Hoedown, 'Tis Harry I'm Planning to Marry reprise, Secret Love, Deadwood Stage reprise, and Black Hills of Dakota reprise. We then have the creative teams biographies, producers biographies, and the production credits. Then have some adverts, information on ATG, booking and venue information, adverts, and then at the back you've got about your ATG Plus card, and that is your programme. So it's a pretty simple programme. There's not really much in it. There's no articles, there's no production photos or rehearsal photos. It is literally just the cast biographies. So yeah, if you're interested in the cast biographies, it's worth getting. If not, probably not worth getting, because there isn't really much information in there. I always get them because I like to know who the cast are, but yeah, not the best programme, but the quality is good. It is on really thick paper, so the actual quality of the programme is good. There's just not a lot of information in there. So overall, I did enjoy Calamity Jane, and I'm glad I went to see it. I think I enjoyed the second half a bit more than the first half. I did get a bit bored in the first half, but I was quite tired, so that might have been why. But like I said, the story is very simple. I think for me, I prefer musicals that have a bit more of a story and go a bit more in depth into the characters. So it's not one that I would rush back to see again. However, I am glad that I've seen it. So for me, I'm going to give it 3 stars. I enjoyed the music. I thought the cast were fantastic. I definitely think it's worth seeing at least once, especially if you're a fan of Carrie Hope Fletcher, because she's fantastic in this. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little vlog and review video. If you do enjoy these sort of videos, do consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell and be notified as soon as a new one goes up. I actually have quite a lot of tickets booked already for this year. Usually I book things last minute, but this year I've actually booked quite a lot in advance. So I've got tickets to see A Knight's Tale, which is coming up later in the year, 13 Going on 30, Miss Saigon, Kinky Boot, and a couple of others I can't remember. But yeah, I've got quite a lot booked in already. I have a couple of press nights booked in as well. So there's lots of videos coming up on the channel, so if you'd like to see any of those, like I said, do hit subscribe, hit the notification bell and be notified as soon as those go up. If you would like to read any reviews on any of the shows I go to see, I do put them up on my blog. I'm not sure if I'm going to be writing a full review for this one. I'll see if I've got time, but most reviews will be up on my blog, which is all about theatre UK. I'll link that down below as well, just in case you want to see it. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little video. If you have, please do give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.